Here's the truth about building wealth, guys. Frugality won't make you rich anymore. Let me qualify that by saying frugality alone isn't enough nowadays. And that goes for Canada, but also for practically any other country in the world. Once upon a time, you could actually become rich just by having a decent but average job and living very frugally. You've probably heard of Ronald Read before, a janitor who saved up an $8 million fortune. He died at age 92 and was able to leave most of his wealth to charity. These kinds of success stories of people with very average jobs making it big are very inspiring, but let's pause to think about the time he lived in. He was born in 1924. At that time, even though he was only working as a janitor, he was able to live very frugally and put money aside to save. In the 20s, rent in Boston, USA for a family of 4 was only $30 per month, making that $360 per year, whereas the yearly income of a janitor would be around $1,000. That would be about 36% of his income, which is not a small amount of money either. But tell me, could a janitor nowadays with just a third of his salary, so a third of about $3,800, which is under $1,300, rent an apartment big enough for 4 people? I doubt that. So times have changed now. A dollar is not what it was worth back then. It has fallen sharply due to rising inflation and increase in the money supply. Here's the truth, guys. Nowadays, living extra frugally can only take you so far. Let's take this simple example. Working as a store manager in Toronto, an average but decent job can earn you around $58,000 per year. Remember, this is before tax. After taxes, this number is closer to $45,000. That's just under $4,000 per month. I know, it's sad. Now imagine this person is single and can make do with a studio or 1-bedroom apartment. That's around $2,200 to $2,500 for a 1-bedroom per month, leaving him with just $1,500. Or let's say this person is really frugal, a bachelor, and rents just 1 bedroom in a shared apartment for under $1,000. That would leave him with $3,000 per month. Not bad. But living costs in cities like Toronto is about $1,500. Let's again say this person is really frugal and survives on $1,000 instead. So $3,000 minus $1,000, that leaves him with $2,000, which is awesome. Say he actually saves that $2,000 per month and doesn't spend it on anything else, and he's able to invest that money wisely. Later on in this video, I'll tell you where you can do this, and gets an average return of 8% in the stock market. Then in 10 years, he'll have $365,000. And don't get me wrong, guys, this is a great achievement, but is it enough? In these times, even $365,000 is not a lot of money. Of course, you could try to beat yourself at the frugal game to increase your savings, or is there a better solution? There is, of course, and that is to focus on the income side of the equation. Now, let's talk about the 3 main ways to increase your income significantly, but it requires you to get out of your comfort zone. But before we talk about that, do let me know in the comments below, how much do you guys earn and how much are you able to save these days? I'd really love to know. Now, the first way is by doubling or tripling your employment income. This will often require you to move into a new role at a new company even, and upgrading your skill level. But note that by doing this, you will still be trading your time for money, and very likely, you'll be working more hours. The second way is to earn passive income. This is great. Once you've got the set up, you can chill on the couch while money pours in. The thing is that for this to happen, you'll first need to build the capital or the thing that generates that income stream. And the third solution is to start a business. This can start from a small side hustle that gradually grows. If you build it right, you'll have more money and freedom than you can ever imagine. In case you need some ideas, here's a video I made with some side hustle ideas. One way many people have created an additional income stream for themselves is by starting what's called an on-demand printing shop. It's simple. You basically sell in-demand products like hoodies, baseball caps, or notebooks with your own design on it. But you are not the one actually doing the printing. Instead, you outsource it to a print-on-demand service like Printful. Some of the largest brands in the world like Coca-Cola, Spotify, MTV, CBS, and NBC are using Printful. And you as a small business owner can get the exact same quality and service with 0 upfront cost. Now, let me explain to you how this all works. Printful is an on-demand printing company that lets you create your own custom products and start selling them online in a few clicks. Clothes, hats, mugs, bags, shoes, notebooks, almost anything you can think of. Yep, even phone cases. Simply choose a product from Printful's catalog and upload your design and publish it. Now you can connect your Printful store to your Etsy, Shopify, Amazon, or TikTok shop in a few clicks and start selling products online, risk-free and without any upfront costs. When an order is placed, Printful will do all the heavy lifting, make the product with your design, take care of packing and shipping, while you just need to sit back. And in case you're wondering if the math works and you can actually make any profit from this t-shirt here costs less than $15, but you could sell it for $30, even $50 if you have a really unique in-demand design. There are no upfront costs. After an item is sold, Printful will pay you the difference between your selling price of $50, for example, and the cost of the t-shirt, let's say $15, and that's a gross profit of $35. You have nothing to lose. Sign up for free using my link below, which will take you to Printful's website. Open a free account and start creating. So that's just one example for how you can make extra income. So guys, just so you know that I'm not just talking without any actual experience, I did make extra income myself, and what started as my side hustle eventually became my main income source. I started creating content a few years ago, and in the beginning, I only made $1 per day. So it's not like what you hear in those ads where they glamorize the process saying that you'll be able to immediately make thousands of dollars per day by drop shipping or whatever. I worked very long and hard on my YouTube channel, creating hundreds of videos until I saw significant money pouring in. But nowadays, after about 4.5 years of making these videos, I make anywhere from $800 to $1,600 per day, sometimes even more, working only about 15 hours per week. In this video up here, I talk more about how now I earn more than $20,000 per month. Now, the crazy thing, guys, is that the longer I run the business, the easier it is to make money with less time. So if you know about the compounding effect, this compounding effect holds true not just for money, but also for skills and businesses. In the beginning, for months and even years, you may not see anything from your side hustle, and you might even regret starting a business. But if you keep at it, tweaking and improving, you'll eventually figure it out. You'll work harder, and your income will double and triple, and at some point it will continue growing even though you work a bit less. And I won't say I'm rich, guys. I still have a long way to go. But what I want to say to you is that what brought me to this point of doubling, tripling my net worth was not by being frugal. I mean, frugality is definitely an important part in the process of getting wealthy and rich, whatever you want to call it, but it's just one part of the equation. Basically, wealth, and I mean wealth in a narrow financial sense here, equals accumulated and invested income minus expenses. First, you want to maximize the difference between your income and your expenses, and second, you want to grow your money by investing it. The frugality part only addresses the expense part of the equation. By being frugal and spending what's really necessary, you minimize your expenses and thereby increase what you can save. The thing is that there's only so much money you can save. I bet you know what I'm talking about. Everyone has basic needs, shelter, food they need to fulfill, and you can be frugal to a point where your quality of life suffers. Of course, you can buy everything secondhand, even your pajamas, and eat beans and rice only and deny yourself buying anything at all for a few years. But after a while, you'll ask yourself, how much longer can I live like this? Let me tell you a story, guys. When I went back to study for a while, I went back into student mode where I lived super frugal. My husband and I lived in the tiniest and one of the oldest studio apartments, only took public transportation and maybe an Uber once every 3 or 4 months. Of course, we didn't have a car, and we don't until this day. And we would flip price tags around like 20 times, and in the end deciding not to buy that thing after all. And that went well for a while. We could do it because we had the important goal of saving as much money as we could. But after 3-4 years, it got old eventually. We really felt we wanted to start enjoying life more. And yes, it did include being a bit indulgent, eating out at restaurants more, and living in a nicer condo in a nicer building with a swimming pool perhaps. And right around that time, both of us started earning more. My husband just got himself a new job that got him a 20% or 30% salary increase, and my YouTube channel started earning a decent income. Our incomes finally started growing, and I realized, yeah, we could totally try to be a Ronald Reed and save ourselves to wealth. I mean, although by that time we'd probably be 72 years old. Or instead, how about we try to earn ourselves to wealth instead? And it turned out the second option, earning ourselves to wealth, was much easier and much more rewarding. We now combined earn about 6 times more than what we did about just 3 years ago. And let me tell you guys, back then I wouldn't have believed that this would be possible. Back then, I was still in the mindset of just spending less, being frugal, and not rely too much on the income side of the equation. But now I'm fully aware that in order to grow wealth, especially if you want to grow it fast and become financially free, you gotta focus on the income side as much, if not much more. But guys, that's not all. Remember the equation. Wealth equals the invested difference between income and expenses. Even if you earn a ton and live frugally and save a lot of money, you can't just leave it under a pillow in your checking account, because if you do that, it will just continue to lose value to inflation, especially monetary inflation. If you want your money to grow and work for you, you will need to invest it. And just in case you're a stranger to investing, it's really not as complicated as you might think it is. The easiest way to start investing is to just use an online investment platform like Wealthsimple. Wealthsimple is great for beginners because it's so easy to use, the user interface is just awesome and fun, and best of all, there are no fees for trading stocks and ETFs. I've been using Wealthsimple myself for about 5 years now, so if you want to try it out, you can use the link in the description down below. You can even get a $25 bonus by using my referral code. Note that if you sign up, I'll also get a small commission. And guys, in case you don't know what Wealthsimple is and you want to know if it's any good, you can join me in this next video here where I review Wealthsimple.